So on this Chrysler 300, this 2011 Chrysler 300 with the 6.4, the PCV is located in the intake manifold right there. You rotate it counterclockwise to and then pull it out to pull the actual valve out, and the vent hose runs to the actual intake right after the throttle body. Here's the actual intake for the PCV system. It comes from the airbox, so it is filtered through the airbox like most PCV systems are. You see the sign, it goes to the oil fill neck and then presumably goes down through the engine and comes back up here in the manifold, the intake manifold.
So once you remove the PCV valve, one way to check it to see if it's stuck is by shaking it, and if it rattles, then it's not stuck.
So here we have our PCV outlet into the intake manifold. Here we have vacuum, which tells us that all the way up to here, we also have a vacuum. All the way up to here, we have a vacuum. This is where the PCV valve actually sits. And then over here, we also had a slight vacuum, which is the intake for the PCV system.
So here's a clip of us running the car with the PCV, or with a vacuum gauge in the PCV inlet. The sound is muted. That's because I'm doing this in post, but you can see that there's the gauge doesn't show any vacuum whatsoever. With the inlets of the actual PCV, you usually expect to see little to no vacuum. So here I'm actually looking at the 2014 Explorer in the lab, just to see what some other PCV systems might look like. This system had its inlet in the middle of the hose between the throttle and the actual airbox, and then as you can see, the PCV inlet also goes to the top of the valve cover instead of through the oil fill neck. And it might be difficult to see, but there's a vacuum line right there. And then this is the difficult part. It's on the actual PCV valve is on the back side of the engine, so on the opposite valve cover, right under the intake manifold. It's kind of difficult to see, obviously, but it's there. So this is where the EGR section of this video will start. So this is out of the 99 Acura TL. This is the EGR valve itself. I have it hooked up so that the solenoid gets power. There you can see the pintle. It actually goes out opposite than what you'd think. You'd think it would go in, but it actually pops out of the actual EGR.
So here I have the EGR rigged so that I can power it on and off with the car off to just simply show what the voltage looks like as the position changes. So here is with it closed, it is 1.2 volts just about, and with it opened it has 3.62 volts. So here I have the engine running, and I'm going to actually open and close the EGR so you can see what happens. So here it is with it closed. Now it's open.